little bit more makeup, on the cheek.
All right, let's go.
Love their team like we do. Hey, just come and get you right quick. Get some magic content, and we do it just for the people. It's another magic minute. 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 Just in case you might forget it. Like I said, it's for the fans who scream go magic, no matter where you are. In the car, if you hear a fall one more time, I'ma tell you who we are. It's another magic minute. It's another magic minute. Just in case you might forget it.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J Curve back in the building with another Magic Minute podcast. All right. Today, we're about to get straight into it. Let's talk about the Magic, man. We got a game going on right now. Cavs, close game. We're in the third quarter right now, wrapping it up in the third quarter. We also have a special guest joining us in a little bit, but we're going to talk a little bit before we get to that point. So, how we doing tonight, the Cavs, y'all feel like? I mean, we've been playing pretty decent. Like I said, we've been keeping it close. What y'all thinking?
We do every time. Every time. Second night of a back-to-back, somehow we're more competitive than the first. I don't know if it's that we hold back on the first game and be like, oh, let's serve some energy, spread it out. But that second night, we go from the worst team in the league statistically to one of the best teams in the league, and somehow the worst team in the league give us way more competition. Makes no sense.
Yeah, bro, what you thinking, man?
And
You said you're gonna watch it to the end.
Nah, I got a lot to say. It ain't fun. It ain't fun because we shouldn't be here. We're just in the 5th spot and we fall into 8th seed. So I grew up. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I ain't got nothing nice to say right now.
Well, I gotta say we're without Jalen, and unfortunately, as being shown, our defense lives and dies with Jalen Suggs. So
and then I'm gonna repeat myself. We shouldn't depend on one or two people to make us effective. We should have a deep bench that if one is out, we should be able to sustain. Look at OKC. OKC is a proven point.
No. Number one player, number 1A, 1B, Franz. That's like saying Shea goes out and they're doing amazing. No, we have Franz, we got Jalen Suggs, we got Anthony Black, 3 of our top scorers. That's a big difference than some bench rider or your third scorer or your fourth scorer on a team. This is the frustrating thing that I have with fans is this whole Chicken Little, skies falling. Like, no, let's take everything into perspective. We got 4 stars injured now. We have shuffling lineup, communication. We got Jamahl Cain just got signed. He's been on playing with us for a couple months. That's it. So I mean, there's a lot put into it to simplify it into the players are just not good enough, the bench is not good enough, the coach is not coaching enough, the front office. Like when he pointing, it's like take a step back, look at everything holistic, take all the variables in consideration, and understand that at the end of the day, we are kind of where we're supposed to be right now with all the situations that we've had to deal with.
So I'm gonna jump in here because you just triggered my memory about something that we talked about in that live stream me and Grills did. I'm gonna let you play the middleman on this one. You decide which way you gonna go with this, because me and him disagreed on this whole thing, bro. So we gonna figure this out live on air with everybody. So what was the expansion draft conversation, right? We're talking about, okay, so just lay down the rules, the ground rules that we went by, so I can tell you who I picked, and then I'll tell him who you picked, and then we'll talk about it.
So according to the expansion, you could only protect 8 players. Well, when we originally talked, I said 7, but it's actually 8. So the 2 new teams will be able to pull 1 player from every team in the league. Each team could protect up 8 players. So me and him went back on who we would protect.
And we didn't even get to the starting 5 yet. I didn't even get to number 5 before we started going back and forth, because his top 4.
There's 30 teams. There's only 15 roster spots. Can't take 1 player from every, but 1 player is available from every draft by 1.
Well, that's what Adam Sandler. That's what.
Hey, the next commissioner, Adam Sandler. I'm for it.
You know what? He probably knows more about basketball than this.
Hey, man, he been doing this.
Adam Silver said that the 2 teams will be able to pick 1 player off team in the league. Members that are not protected from being picked, if they're unrestricted free agency, they could go. If there was a couple of things that would allow certain players to go up for grabs.
So the rules are important, basically. The rules are important. So the debate was, we decided, okay, so if we had to pick, who are you picking for your first at least 4 players that you want to keep? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to pick. I think I said Paolo, Franz, Jalen, and I said Wendell Carter. Now, to keep, to protect, to make sure nothing happens. They don't go nowhere. These are cornerstone pieces, right? Then then after that, I would go Tristan, AB. I forgot who my last guy was. Was it Javon Carter? Was my last guy Javon Carter? No, it wasn't. Who was my last guy? I can't remember right now.
We on
I
a
can't
time
remember my
limit.
last guy. But my eighth guy. Yeah, he was. It was somebody who was
I
important.
thought girls holding
Mo,
back.
It was Mo. It was Mo. It was Mo. So Mo Wagner, right? Those are my 8. Cool. We gonna kick off his 4. You ready?
All right.
I turned around and I said, Paulo ain't going nowhere because got the contract. Franz ain't going nowhere because this contract's guaranteed, and Jalen's not going anywhere. So those 3 are not going anywhere, right? Those 3 are solid. They're staying. So
Okay,
those
wait,
are the first 3.
Time out real quick. Nah. We're asking if you want. Not no. What the rules
No,
That's part of the rule. No, that's part of
yeah.
the rule.
So those
That's part of
3
the
are
rule.
guaranteed protected. Now we're talking about who are we gonna secure for sure over everybody else on the team before
What
we
I'm
look at those
asking,
guys.
not who we have. Who wanted those players.
So after those 3, watch.
You
After
have
those
to
3,
keep
here's
those
get
3.
interesting. That's
I
what we go.
understand you have. Okay, Grills, you're not hearing me. I understand what the rules state. What I'm asking on a personal level, would those players you just mentioned that we have? See, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to get at. It wasn't about who. This isn't real. This ain't playtime. We're playing.
See, that's a whole different conversation. We didn't even go down
That's a
that
different
path.
conversation because you got to go based on who's available. These 3 players are not available. We're not talking about if I had the ability. Clearly, I don't have the ability to trade anybody.
I'm at sidebar. I'm asking if you had the ability. Your top tech.
Wait. Before we get there, tell him who you picked at 4 because there's a whole roster of guys after those 3. But his most important piece was number 4, and this is where the debate came.
No,
yeah,
it was Bane and then Carter. I said Bane was 4, Carter was 5, AB was 6, and Tristan was 7. That's when we talked
not
about
Carter
7.
Jr.
Not Carter Jr.
Carter.
We're talking about
Javon Carter.
Javon Carter. And the reason why I said Javon Carter is because since we got Javon Carter onto our team, he has sparked something in our team that wasn't there for me. He was a key, an essential that had this team, this organization on fire. And
now, I jump in to say, I don't disagree with you with any of that. He ain't going that high in my draft. If you ask him, like, that's where we had the misunderstanding. Like, I'm like, so where you sitting at with it, Mango? What we talking about over here, man?
Point number 2 is Javon Carter and the Greens doesn't matter because Coach Joe was that miss last. Remember, Coach Joe stepped up, starting lineup when Jalen Suggs went out, and he brought the team together, and then we started to make moves. In fact, that's why they were comparing us to last year. Towards the end, when Coach Joe took charge, our veteran leadership and everything like that. Same thing that Javon Carter's doing, gave the momentum, gave that miss that we needed in an injury-riddled season. What happened in the offseason? Peace. They let him go. Same thing might happen
Joe
with
Ingles,
Javon.
year before that, same thing.
Another veteran guard that can fill that role. That role is not a unique role. Those the skills that come in that mentorship, that's half of the players in the league possess those skills at different price points and everything like that. So I don't think Javon Carter is anywhere near tech. I think it's easier for me to say who wouldn't be protected. Like J.I. is definitely not protected. And here's a hot take. I really don't know if I'm gonna protect Mo. He has not been the same. He's gotten back from that ACL. So much so that the coach can't trust him enough to put him in against the pace against Siakam and we got murdered in the paint, and we didn't put Mo in. We stuck with Goga as volatile as he's been. Like he's been off ever since he got into that controversy stuff. Like he's doing mud, and even at that point they're like, we'll stick with Goga, or put in.
And I don't know. I was at that game too, so I don't know if it was like a lingering injury they're not telling us about because he was on the bike for a little while when I went past it. Like he was being active, coming in and out of the tunnel, doing stuff. So I don't know if there's something going on. Don't want to cast any rumors or injuries.
He didn't play in the Lakers game either, right? I don't think he played. In the Lakers.
I don't think I saw him out there either. And when he is playing, he's playing like 7-8 minutes. So it's not been a lot of time. Or at least it seems like that. It might be more, but
even the game,
I think the game
beforehand, that Charlotte game, I think he played that game and he was horrendous. Misses like really bad 3-point shots. Really like shouldn't have taken that shot. He driven it and then driving in, doing the whole like filleting arm and not really going shot foul. So I don't know. I would protect him. Like at this point right now, he's not protected. J.I. is not protected. Man, I don't even know if I see Wendell Carter Jr. Man, he's an enigma.
He's on my list because of the things that he does for our star. And that's the way he opens up the floor for Franz, the way he opens up the floor for Paulo sometimes when Paulo sees it. Like he does a lot on that back screen, second screen type action. He gets a lot of these guys these easy layups. And he doesn't get a lot of credit for it because it's nothing in the stat sheet for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Remember I was telling you about that last season. I had to open everybody's eye. I'm like, look, watch Wendell. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. I think he is his best version when our team is he is a vital part of the Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bain, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter. Like that is a Voltron 5. That is
Mhm.
you know, defender of the universe type 5. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that.
And as
That's
much
what
hate as he gets from little lames in the comments and stuff like that, I'm like, guys, what big man have we had in a while besides like Vucevic that can really body somebody and move him out the way like Wendell's been doing? Like we haven't had a banging body kind of guy. Brandon Bass maybe since
and he's
Dwight.
getting
You know what
better
I'm
with
saying?
his
So
he's getting better with his shovel passes. Like, you
his
know, he's
drop
getting it.
step. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not having to set and then go back up again. He's actually doing it on the first
Yeah.
pump. I'm like, that's
Oh,
huge.
speaking of Mo, we got Mo in right now, starting the fourth
Look at
quarter.
that.
Hey, starting the
Thomas
fourth
Bryant.
quarter. The Magic are down 6 points right now. 99-105 to Cleveland. As we're watching
Today
this
is
game,
true.
we're recording this here, waiting for our guy. But yo, we just wanted to talk about where we are as the Magic, what's happening. How do y'all feel like we need to go into the playoffs? And what do you think has been happening as far as this whole losing streak we've been on? What's causing it? A mental
It's
thing? Is it just
I think
injuries?
it's morale, man. I think a lot of it is I the more and more I'm in part of this Coach Mo's thing, because it's when push comes to shove is when you rely on your coach to put you in the best position, and I don't think he's doing that, and we put ourselves in too many clutch situations. And you saw the Lakers game, all those the last couple of possessions were just, you know, like errors you don't commit. Should have fought harder and be like, I didn't call a timeout. Like he should have done a temper tantrum. That should have been the time when he got ejected, you know, something like that. Everybody and their mother saw that the ball was out on LeBron James, and we're all like, challenge. So I think that's
Yeah.
one thing. It's like we can't rely on it. If we get, we have to rely on ourselves, and then not having not being at full speed. Unfortunately, you were still young, and so we have a built-in excuse.
Mhm.
Oh, we didn't win today, man, but we didn't have Suggs, we didn't have Black, we didn't have Franz, we didn't have Ji. You know, we can always rely on that excuse. So, man, I don't even
We haven't
know.
had a full roster in about 2 years straight, 3 years straight. Then when we do, it's maybe 20 games, maybe, maybe.
Now,
So
here's my question to you, and I'll flip it to Grails to answer first. Do you even want to go to the playoffs at this point?
Honestly, no. And I'm going to say why. I think we have too many injuries. I think I'm more of preserve what we have and focus on build something that's going to be effective for the following season, versus chasing something that it might not be obtainable. We can't make it past the first round of the playoff. And it's a lot of pressure, right? You talk about Jalen being injured, AB being injured. You talk about, Mo being afraid of playing full force. I mean, his injury was a serious. So these are a lot of factors. I don't believe Mosley he has had the entire season to figure out a rotation that works. And every time we have a rotation that seems like it's worked, he shifts it, changes it around. And that's prior to injury. That's talking prior. So my personal opinion, I would sit this one out.
okay, so I'm gonna jump in on both of the takes about Coach. I always ride for Coach, man. Every time somebody says anything about Coach, I gotta say something. To me, okay, so the playoff thing, I would like to go to the playoff just to show these guys one more time. There's a few of us on this roster who are playing the correct way, with the right mentality, the right physicality, the right amount of attacking the basket, not going for the calls, getting back on defense type stuff, the right effort.
And we need the experience. Our players need the experience. That's why I was going to say yes. I would want to go to playoffs because we need the experience.
Just so they can know. I think Paulo said it when he looked in the mirror over All-Star break. He said, "I'm not him like I thought I was. So let me get it back." This will show the whole team, even the guys who are already bought in, like, look, we know we're not ready, but at least we're here and we're getting exposed on national TV for 7 games if we get it that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it might be a good egg on your face moment to be able to get these guys motivated, which brings me to the point about Coach. That makes me realize the whole conversation all season hasn't been about Coach Moseley and his coaching plan. It's been about the effort of the team. That is on players. That's a 50-50 thing right there. These guys are shoulders dropped. We talk about it all the time when they say they got the first game of a back-to-back or a second game of a back-to-back, and they just look like deers in headlights out there trying to play basketball. They all look shook. So I don't know, man. I can't put it all on Coach. I do think there are, mistakes that he makes, but I think they're also being magnified right now because we're expected to be so good, and everything that he doesn't do 10 times worse than, all right, he just missed that call or he didn't challenge this or whatever. A lot of it, I say a good 30 to 40% of it maybe amounts to a loss or something that we did, but I don't think all the time his decisions or indecision in that manner might cost us the game. I think it's a lot to do with our effort. He's not the one running that 92 feet, so 94 feet. So, that's just my take on it.
So let me ask you a question. Being that that's your take and how you feel, how many teams in the league have won games without coach.
How many teams have won without coaching?
Yeah, without having a solid coach. Without having a coach.
Lakers. Everybody knew Darvingham didn't know what he was doing. And
I thought JJ. I was like,
the
JJ's
Cavs.
doing, yeah, but
There's been a lot of guys that won. I can think of a few. If I have to Google them, I can do that too. But like, there's been a lot of inept coaches that have won with great players, which we apparently have great players. We just haven't stepped into that greatness.
And that's why I'm saying, if you don't have a coach to set a culture and hold people accountable, then your players are a reflection. I believe that players are a reflection of a coach, and a coach is a reflection of a player. It's a yin and yang. It's a relationship, right? And if you don't,
but I feel like when you say setting the culture, Moseley did set this entire culture that we have now. So it wouldn't be this without the culture that he set.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna shock the world right now. I'm gonna bring up Miami as a great example.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Turn the lights off. Unplug the show. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening right now.
I'm gonna talk about a former Knicks coach.
Hey, what are we doing, guys?
So, but you hear the stories of Pat Riley and motivating the players in the beginning of the season. You know, when he was coach, when he stole the championship from Stan Van Gundy. You know, Stan Van Gundy built that team, that Shaq and Wade team. He built that team for championship, and then Pat Riley
and he swooped in.
So, you know, props to SVG. But at the same rate, when Pat Riley was coach, he found a way to motivate, keep team locked in from day one. He had him, I forgot what it was. He had them write like their goals or something like that and put it all in a jar, and that stayed in the locker room. Those little things, those ancillary things. You know, when the team is down, you don't see Mose, or when the players are down, you don't see Mose going up to the players and like, you know, pumping them up or anything like that. You see your Steve Kerrs going in constantly encouraging or reprimanding their players, calling them out by name. The thing that bugs me so much with Mose is he speaks in platitudes. I've mentioned this so many times. Like my Twitter is so full of that word platitudes. It's all he does. Wait, what did we do? We didn't sit down on defense. You know, come on, man. Sitting down defense is the most basic. That's just like saying get the board. No, a coach tells me how can I be positioned in the best way to get said boards. He doesn't do that stuff. And yes, the effort comes part of it. But a good coach is like a parent. We're dealing with young 20-year-old, and we don't have a coach to lead them and guide them to be the best versions of themselves. We all said he should have held Paolo accountable right in the beginning of the season. We've all said that. What happened? Paolo had to hold himself accountable. You know what I'm saying? A good mentor. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's doing a mentorship. Yes, he built a culture on hard-nosed defense, and it was easy to buy in on that. But like what happened with Paolo's like, dude, we've been doing this for 4 years now, and nothing has changed. The rules haven't changed. Our strategies haven't changed. Cool. We got defense. That ain't putting points on the board. So I mean that's my 2 cents. I think it has to do with effort, but more so I think it's up to the coach and the coaching staff to really get these guys locked in. You know, yes, the players are accountable for themselves, but let's facts be facts. They are kids still, and they need proper guidance.
And I agree with Amai, you know, and that's why I say what I say and I stand. I don't think you talk about a culture, and he's brought a culture to the team. I can't talk prior of me being a fan because I don't know enough prior of me being here. You would know more than I do, but what I do know is human dynamic, and I do know what I see on the court and what I see off, right? And I'm older than Jermaine, not older than Michael, but him and I could agree, right? I'm 46 years old, so live long enough to understand that if the right leader's not in play and it's not motivating and it's not driving, you know, then there's an issue, there's a problem, right? And the coach should be as involved pushing the guy. Reason why my comment about Jevon Carter was not one person is going to win a champion. It's a group effort. And that's why I felt that Jevon Carter coming to the team, him as a veteran coming in, doesn't take anything away from Bane. I think Bane was a great pick. When people were complaining about what we gave up to get Bane, I said, guys, knock it off. We won't even see the fruits of those picks till later on in life. So that was a good pick. But that wasn't the only pick to turn us into a championship organization. Carter coming over here. Carter's also a player, played with a couple of teams, has something to prove because he's on his way out. So when you have a veteran that has less time ahead of him and more time behind him, he wants to make sure that his last run, his whatever remaining years he has left, meaning, and he's done that with the Mets. He's mentoring, you know, Paolo. He's telling Paolo on the sidelines, yo, knock it off. Let's go. You know, Suggs took it off. You know, those, and you piece them together, you see what a difference one person makes. And I don't feel that our coach is doing that right. I think that the additional coaches that we brought in, like Shamgod, I've seen the development of AB, I've seen development of other players. players working with Shamgod. I've seen the offense improve with Joe Prune. So you see those things, but where's Moseley?
Yeah,
Again,
and that's the thing. And I get what
season, sorry, wait. Last season, I said I had floor seats. I sat down. I'd watch Coach. You hardly ever saw him grab his little whiteboard and make play on an offense.
And what I'm saying, I think what Grails, with his Javon Carter pick, I get what he's saying is that Javon Carter fills in those gaps. But my point to that is we shouldn't need a Javon Carter to get into Paolo's ear. That's coach's job. We shouldn't need a Javon Carter to hold players accountable. That's coach's job. Like Javon Carter is doing the things that coach should be doing.
So let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question to your age. Larry Brown and AI. Was Larry Brown a bad coach?
He got up in AI's ear constantly, and AI loved him.
After it wasn't okay. It wasn't fine at first. It had to get there. You remember them calling each other out in the media and all that other stuff they was doing.
That's what we need. We need, because you know what, when AI called out Larry Brown called out AI, you know what happened? They both had to be accountable for each other. They both had to be accountable for themselves.
My point is, it's been a little bit of frustration this year. It's been a little bit of calling out back and forth between these guys. Man, I don't think it's on the level of Larry Brown and AI.
You got parents involved.
No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm just saying we got parents involved. We got front office, back off involved. There's a lot of politics that we the fans don't hear about, don't know about, but you can see the writings on the wall, and you didn't have that back in the day. Back in the day, you didn't have, so many hands in the pot of saying what, my athlete's gonna do or my child is gonna do in the league. It was a very different culture in how, the outside noise would affect. They would nip. And if you want to talk about Pat Riley wouldn't let anybody come into his locker room and say jack. Same thing with coaches from other places, man. Steve Carr is not gonna let somebody come and tell him how things are gonna run in his house.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I think the Larry Brown thing, the Steve Kerr thing, even Tibbs when he was with the Bulls and stuff. It's supposed to be a very emotional relationship. You and your star player should be a married couple. I don't see them married. They're friend zoned each other.
But is that all on coach though? Is that all on coach? Because like Grails just said, we do have somebody else speaking for Paolo, so maybe he's not making his own. I
didn't mention Paolo. I was very generous.
Now we all know other guys on the team. We all know who speaking stars,
and that's the thing. That beef was so watered down. Like, and they were, Paolo was obviously making the reference, and Coach Mose kind of just blew it off. There was no calling each other out. I mean, I want to see them call each other out. I want to see Coach Mose be like, well, Paolo's great, but he can beat him if he just puts a little more effort, and he can start calling him down. He's like, hey, needs to stop complaining to the refs, needs to get back on defense. He needs to lead the team. He needs to stop letting the refs get into his head. He needs to stop letting players get into his head. He is too elite to allow these to be mentally weak. And I want to hear him say those exact words to him. And push.
I'm gonna take the PC handcuffs off because I got a question. How much y'all think Jamahl Moseley really has power in that aspect when it comes to Paolo and being the franchise player with the ownership, with all the stuff in the office, politics?
I think he's handcuffed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how much free reign do you think he really has to be?
And that's the problem. And that's why I think we need a coach going to turn around and say, excuse my friend, I don't give up.
But I think he's like that. And I think it can get like this if he does become that coach that y'all are saying. Let me say this to the media. Let me say that. It could get real ugly. I don't think he's one of the PC guys that you would want to put on that podium for those kind of conversations.
So to follow up your question, do you think Paolo is mature enough to take criticism like that?
I don't know. That's my thing. Because of the, tweets and delete.
It's the same in your face.
Now here's another thing. I got a question for you guys. We were all together at the AV Cares event. Where was Coach?
Where was Pete?
Where was J.I.?
I did see there. Jalen Suggs, my tag team partner, baby.
All right. So again, if you're building a culture, and I can understand certain players, these are co-workers, they're not best friends, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna go for it, right? Because
it's a team building event.
Exactly. So if you look at any other player from any other organization host event, a good portion of the roster show up.
And I don't understand that because the whole roster was out there in the summer league
league, all 12, 13 guys. What happened? That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, you want me to tell you what I think it was?
Go ahead.
The loss of Cole and all the gel that we had before, that was our glue. And ever since he's been gone,
That's where I turn around and I say it should be Coach, because Coach should turn around and say, hey guys, this weekend, Wendell's got an event, AB's got an event, and we're all going to show up. We're going to show up because it's for the community. They are the ones that are coming to the games to watch you guys win, and they're there when you lose, to support, and to show you love. We're going to go show love and support to our fellow teammate and his organization. That's a Coach thing.
My question, you guys went to the Cole Anthony thing last year. Were there any other players show up?
Oh yeah, J.I., Coach was there, Hank was there. No, P, I've never seen P out. Not to take any, shots at P, but I don't expect to see him. You know what I mean? Like, he has a different.
Now,
okay, for example, when we went to the meet and greet at Dick's Sporting Goods, they were screaming for him like he was Michael Jackson. And I was like, all right, I get it. I can see you don't want to come out and be involved. Like, as soon as he came through the door, I was like, yo, is LeBron here? Like, what's going on? They were going crazy. Like, it was.
You know how you cure that? You do the same thing again. I'm gonna take things. Miami does this. Dolphins do it. The Heat do it. The New York Knicks do this. Milwaukee does this. They have a portion called the meet and greet where you pay a fee, right? I think it's like $1,500, $2,500, and it's you and a guest, so you could bring somebody for that price, and you get 5 minutes with the athlete, and they could sign an item for you, right? I brought this up to Carl. I was talking to Carl the other day, DJ Carl, and I told him, I said,
but that you're pricing it out. I'm talking about community event. I'm talking about supporting each other for these community events. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, one big thing that I recall, we've been fans for Kirby and I've been fans for a long time. And one thing I will say, for all the shade that he gets, which I don't think is deserved anymore, is Dwight Howard was always in the community. Always.
Man.
Anybody on that roster had anything going on, Dwight was there.
Dwight was there on his own a lot of the time. You would catch Dwight in Walmart and Kobe's, catch him at the gas pump. Like, you would see Dwight wasn't hiding. Like, after he got drafted, I remember seeing him still braces and all at the Florida Mall. He was walking in. I'm like, yo, that looks like the guy from the Slam magazine. I didn't even know nothing about him at that. But like, we drafted him. I was like, oh, okay. I had a picture in the Slam magazine when he had the rim around his neck.
Hey man, that's when I turned full-fledged blue and white Ignite all the way. But that's the thing I'm saying. Like with Paolo, like, as soon as the season's over, we all know by next week he's in Seattle. Like he's like a commuter, like going to school. You ain't living on campus. You're commuting, and I think like Grills pointed that out like last year, and I thought it was just his Miami in him coming out. But there is a big disconnect between Paolo and the rest of the team. Like, it's almost like he's on a different, he gets the first class while everybody else isn't coach type thing. Like, I'm not saying that's how it is, but there seems to be a visible disconnect between him and the rest of the team. Look at the rest of the team gets along great. We saw TDS show up at the AB event. Jalen, of course, he's there. Chopping it up. Wendell came by, chopped it up. But I don't see P in a lot of those situations. Even when I'm following online and places that I can't go, like I didn't go to Cole's 50 Ways thing, or so I just don't know how, if there. I'm just throwing it out there. Do you think there's a disconnect between Paolo and the rest of the team?
I don't think it's a disconnect, but I think there's a certain level of pandemonium that comes with Paolo. So, like, when he comes in the building, it's not going to be the same. If he would have showed up to that event we were at with the AB Cares event, it would have been a whole different event. They were crowding those guys already. You know what I'm saying? So the fact it might be a safety hazard because of
Shea. Come on, MVP Shea. Shea is a god in OKC. I ran into some people at an event I was. And they
OKC's different though. It's a different type of city, different type of vibe.
In Oklahoma, man.
It's different in Oklahoma though. Different out there.
What I'm saying
different. Our fans are a little rabid.
But I think with the point that Girls are saying is that they make an effort to be out in the community, and I don't see stories of people be like, we've always had stories. I ran to Dwight here. I ran to Ben Wallace at Albertsons. I ran to this. I haven't heard any stories about I ran to P anywhere, and then follow up.
So as an introvert myself, I'm sure you guys are familiar with introverts. You're not one yourself. I don't know what you're like behind the mask, Magico, but we're introverted over here. But I don't know if, he might be a shy person. Like, he seems like when it's a one-on-one setting, even when he was at the Dick's Sporting Goods event, he enjoys talking to the people. But I don't know per se if his team is the one that lets him be as accessible as he might necessarily want to be. You know what I mean? I'm not putting it all on him, but I know he definitely could have the last say if he put his foot down. But it still might be too early in his career for that kind of stuff. For him to be like, all right, no, this is what we're doing. This is how I want to move. I don't care about all of that. You know what I'm saying? He can't be Shaq in the community. Shaq is it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like with Paolo, it's a lot of Jordan
I don't know.
brand
Paolo and
around him.
Dwight
You
were
know what I
both.
mean? Like,
Holy camole!
Yo, you saw that block?
Holy! Granted, we
Hey.
did nothing with it, but still, that was amazing.
That was a beautiful block.
oh,
So I got 123 to 129 with minutes remaining in the game.
yeah, I'm at
So
205.
I know it's a close game, but the fact that they have 129 points is like where has our defense gone? Like again,
I mean-
this is my fears. Does it live and die with Suggs? Does our defense live and die
And
with
it
Suggs?
shouldn't. That's my argument. Shouldn't. We need
No,
more
because
than that.
yes, because you know who we have who are great defensive stoppers? AB and Franz Wagner, all of them on the bench. Who else has been known to be one of the better defensive players? Ji. Our defense is literally injured right now, so that's why we can't be like, oh, we're not deep enough, dude. We got our stars are injured. This isn't a random bench player or this and that. We got stars injured. We got to put that in perspective. Like this isn't because we suck. Right now, I'm like the concern is regardless, like 130 points, 131 points right now. That's unacceptable for having team defense. We were what,
number
top
2.
top three.
We were
Top
number
3
2 deep last season.
last year, yeah, and only second only to OKC, and I don't know what happened, man. I don't know if KCP was that locked down. I mean, I know he was a great defensive player, offense questionable, but yeah. So I don't know. All I know is we got 11 games to figure it out, and at an 80-game season, we went 70 or 71 games actually now. So yeah, 11 games left. I don't know, man. The one thing, only positive I really have is Paolo is finally like not caring and just using his strength for what it was intended to.
I think as much as y'all were talking about our defense being off because of those guys too, our offensive woes come along with Franz not playing. So if y'all remember last season, Franz was out for a minute, Paolo was out for a minute. Paolo came back before Franz, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I forget how their injury timeline went, but I think Paolo came back first. And then he had to get his groove, and then he figured out his offensive prowess. So now this season, with all these extra weapons like Desmond Bain and Javon Carter, Tristan Da Silva stepping into his light right now, it's kind of helping out. Jamal Cain even is doing work. So AB stepping up even more. Good. Hey, here we go. That's a new Trevelyan Queen type of player for us this season. Tell me, like that secret one that nobody has a scouting report on. But yeah, I think our offensive problems started with Franz being on the bench, but it didn't get so detrimental this season because we have the Desmond Bains going off. We have the Tristan going. We have those other guys. So,
and even Desmond Bain even said that in the beginning of the season he didn't want to assert, come on too strong, and so he let marinate. Obviously, he realized, I kind of got to take over. I think that
he found his lane, no pun intended, but getting to the basket in the lane, something that we were lacking before we had Markelle Fultz, who could just cut through the lane and do what he wanted.
My birthday game, November 10th.
Talking about Markelle.
That he got unlocked at that point. He realized he needs to be one of the leaders. I'm glad he took that role.
Hey, talking about Markelle, you guys saw he got a 10-day contract with the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, we're gonna play him tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, Friday.
Looks like we're still on the losing
streak. I want to
streak,
see
man.
him do something.
Yeah, I mean, do we really think we were gonna win this? I mean, at least we were competitive, and that's the plus on it is the fact that at the end of the day we scored 127 points of offense, and granted we gave up 131, but we got offense. Look at it. This is a 4-point, 3-point game. 3-point game. We're probably gonna lose, but we're within 1 to 2 possessions. Way better than last season when we were getting blown out by 28 points at home to Cleveland. So this is where like as a fan, it's kind of frustrating because I want our fan base to grow, but we have some of the most fickle, and I don't know if it's just the fan bases across the league, but we have some fickle fans, man, that are so like knee jerk, and it's funny. I got so much shade, especially for one of our formers, about making the comment that no wonder the divorce rate is so high because we're quick to jump ship instead of riding things out, and that rubs people the wrong way. But it's like we're not. One game doesn't determine a season. One game doesn't make your whole entire identity. And these fans, it's like, God. I mean, how many times this season were we supposed to trade Wendell Carter Jr.? You know what I'm saying? How many times times this season have people wanted to trade Paulo? My man scoring 39 points yesterday. My man's averaging 30. My man's averaging over 5 assists, over 5 rebounds. That's the guy you wanted to trade for who? For like Jalen Johnson or something like that? Like, come on, man. You know, or Jalen Williams. You know, come on, nah. You know what J-Dub is doing right now? He's sitting on the bench with his fancy fashion clothes. You know, Paulo's out there muscling, playing bully ball, being a man.
He's getting his reps in. He's getting his reps in right now, and I appreciate that. Well, I wish they would come to wins, but I appreciate that he's getting, you know, all of this experience and confidently going to the basket, figuring out his angles, figuring out his ways, bruising through the basket, stuff like that. So I'm excited to see.
Yeah. And again, playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoff. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, you've had 1 seeds taken down by 8 seeds. You had all these things. It's why not? Like Paulo's. Yes, the team is still figuring out this now, but Paulo on offense is beasting. And what if he does carry the team through the first round? That's just bringing his stature up. And cool. What if we make it to the second round and we get swept? Guess what? That's better than last.
Right.
So we got get our wins where we can. Like you gotta look at the people have such a myopic view, and you know we're in screen time culture that everybody thinks that what's happening today is going to determine everything in the future. It's like, yo, tomorrow's another day.
Right.
I mean, 3-point game, 30 cents. I mean, there's still. I mean, not when you got Spider-Man though.
No, stay on your feet. Oh my.
Spider's different, man.
Well,
yep. So yeah, man.
That's crazy.
So what other topics do we have?
Yeah, I think we covered everything about the Magic. You want to go into a little bit about the AB Cares tournament? We haven't touched on that one. I was gonna wait for our guest, but we can go over it again when he gets here. He just messaged me, so he should be on soon.
What was your experience?
If we're gonna go with what they scored tonight, just to hit that, because I don't think anything's gonna come. Paulo did 33 points. Jamal Cain did 17. Wendell 15. Tristan 18. Desmond 17. Javon Carter 15. Jet for 5. Goga 4. And Mo.
It's crazy that all of those guys are in double digits and we still came up with a loss. Like that's wild, because that doesn't sound like a bad game from anybody.
No, it's not. They were just better. Cleveland was just better. Offensively, we're great. I don't know how our turnover situation looks like. I don't know how many team turnovers we had. 8
turnovers. We didn't have bad. That's it. Normal when we do 15 to 19 turnovers. I was looking at the box score and I'm like, man, we didn't even turn the ball over that many times. I just got to see what the turnover conversion was. What did we give away on those 8 turnovers?
So keep this in mind. It's not that we played bad. It's just Cleveland played better. But you watch. Once that buzzer sounds, the ravenous fans gonna come out demanding somebody's head. You know.
Yep.
And that's the frustrating thing about this Orlando.
And unfortunately, gonna fall on Moses. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking. Every single time anything happens,
who should have fallen? Who should have fallen?
Who had a bad game? Who wasn't stepping up to? Who didn't show? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Okay, so for instance,
it's not one person though. Like to me,
yeah. But in a situation like this, is you have your coach too, who's supposed to be able to watch the game, see the screen, see what's happening, on that end, and make defensive adjustments. And his defensive adjustment is go out and sit down. Like, no, guide us, give us scheme, give us some sort of play, give us something on offense, give us some double screens. Yeah, I hear all these players. You hear LeBron on his show, mind the game. Like you hear them talk X's and O's like that, and I don't know. I would love to see if Mose talks like that.
Yeah,
I need to see that. I need to see that analytical mind. I need to see that basketball IQ. Because again, like I said, he talks in platitudes when you hear other coaches talking specifics.
Yeah, I'm trying to. My bad if I'm looking off. We could cut this part out. I'm trying to make sure he's getting in. Pause.
You said pause?
Yeah, I did say pause.
Made me bring out the GOAT.
Oh, you said
Donovan scored 40 points tonight. James Harden 26.
Damn, man, it's a 3-point game.
It's a playoff type of game though. They need. Get ready. Don't get easier.
Mm-hmm. And that's the problem.
And then they give a foul to Donovan.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
With .2 left. Oh man.
But he hit that.
We've been talking about this. Like, always at the end. It's never prior to this. Like, it's always at the end. I'm like, bro, I think it's a mental thing. He likes fight back against the wall. Like, no, I get this. I can do this. Fight back. It's okay to secure it a little bit earlier.
We all saw he was feeling himself in the beginning of the season, and come to find out, he even admitted he was feeling himself. And unfortunately, that tied with the injury and that subconscious fear of re-injuring yourself, so you take things just a little easier. I mean, you saw the video of me running to second base. That was embarrassing looking. I look like a Jetson cartoon. Like,
Yeah, we all had a crazy show day. That was You asked me my experience. I was embarrassed, but we was out there though. We was out there doing our thing. Man,
Like I said, it was for charity.
I had mental lapses. I'm trying to figure out if I want to throw the ball at the person running down or throw the ball to the first base or throw the ball. I'm like, I'm just throwing it in that direction and it'll end up where it needs to be. No, now he's gonna keep running second base. All right, so we're gonna figure this out.
We had a
we're
very
not gonna get post game on fan. We got to go on YouTube and see what Coach is talking. Because I really want to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah.
Now you don't know what he's about to say. Well, tonight it was effort. It was effort and energy.
Well, how do you feel about the loss? Well, how do you think I'm gonna feel? It's a loss. I mean, some of the questions are
136 points. Yep, we didn't do what we needed to do. We didn't sit down on defense. We didn't get back on transition. Cool. Tell that to the team during the game.
He probably is.
I want to see him scream like Thibodeau.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Pat Riley would scream at the players. I mean, I want to see Mose go off like he did to the ref. Why ain't your ass going off on players like did on the ref and got a get kicked off?
Give me the last coach of minority descent that used to go off like I'm really blanking him.
Avery Johnson?
That's what I was thinking. That's the first one that came to my head, but I'm just like, he's the only one that I know like that. Like
Missoula be holding everybody accountable. Missoula don't care.
Missoula don't give a damn.
Yeah, true. Okay.
And then he'll come out on the post and be like, I was just wishing him a good holiday.
Sometimes. But it's okay. T-Lou. All right, you got me. I'm just trying to think like, is it a reserve thing for the power structure?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think of NFL coaches?
I also think that
I get what you're
because we
saying.
are sponsored by Disney, we might have more.
We might have more moral yellow tape right there.
Yeah, I think having that Disney on the jersey.
Yo, you know what's funny? It's funny that you said that because to me, I always say Coach Moseley would be cussing like Elmer Fudd when they're right.